Here's a question for you. What's the difference between a financial advisor who puts your interests first and one who's just trying to sell you products? Today, I'm going to show you 6 things you need to look out for. I'm Steve Kuna, a CFP and founder of Retirement CFO. And after over 3 decades in this industry, I've seen too many people make costly mistakes when choosing a financial advisor. The truth is, not all advisors are created equal, and the differences can make or break your retirement. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what separates a true fiduciary advisor from someone who's just trying to sell you products. Now, as always, don't forget to like or subscribe to the channel to be notified when we post our next video. Point number 1, business focus. First and most important difference comes down to this. Let me explain what I mean. There are essentially 2 types of advisors in our industry. The first type takes a planning-focused approach. They start with an analysis. They create a financial plan, followed by recommendations. They help you implement those recommendations and then provide ongoing monitoring with a defined service model. The second type, however, they're sales and product focused. Their relationship with you starts and ends with product sales. After that, it's basically, call me if you need me. So think about that. You want someone who's going to be there through your entire retirement journey or someone who disappears after making the sale. Point number 2 is the fiduciary status. And this brings us to perhaps the most critical difference here. A true fiduciary advisor is legally required to work in your best interests. They're independent, which means they're not influenced by sales contests or quotas. There's no product or firm bias influencing their recommendations. On the other hand, many advisors only work under what's called a suitability standard. This means they only need to recommend products deemed suitable, but not necessarily best for you. They're often biased towards or limited to only their firm's products, and they serve as sales representatives influenced by sales contests and quotas. Point number 3 is business model. Now let's talk about something that directly impacts the recommendations you receive. True fiduciary advisors should have no business model bias. What does this mean? They should be able to provide money management for a fee, planning for a fee, receive commissions from carriers for product placement so you don't have to pay a fee. The key here is maximum flexibility in product access. Compare this to what I call the one-trick pony approach. These advisors are locked into a single model. Maybe it's only assets under management or fee only or commission only, or they can only offer specific products like mutual funds or annuities. When your advisor is limited in what they can offer, how can they possibly recommend what's truly best for your situation? Point number 4 is licensing and access. Here's something most people don't think to ask about. Licensing limitations. The right advisor should have no restrictions on what they can offer you. They should be a registered investment advisor with also a Series 7 stockbroker license. Without these, they're limited in what they can offer. The same goes for insurance. A truly independent advisor will have an independent insurance broker's license with no limits on product offerings. They're unbiased because they can access any solution that might benefit you. Be wary of advisors who either have no insurance license or they're limited to selling only their company's products through an agent's contract. When they're an agent of the company, they surely are not an agent for you. Remember, limited options means limited solutions for your retirement. Number 5 is professional designations, because really this is what separates professionals from the salespeople. The most important designation I look for is a CFP, Certified Financial Planner. But it shouldn't stop there. You should look for additional expertise through designations like the CKP for 401k expertise, CRPS for retirement plan specialization, IF showing their commitment to fiduciary responsibility, or a CLU for advanced insurance knowledge. Be cautious of advisors with a few or no designations who've only received sales training or proprietary in-house product training. You want someone who's invested in their education to better serve you, not just in learning how to sell products. Point number 6 is industry experience. Finally, let's talk about experience. Look for someone with at least 20 years in the industry, but this is crucial, not someone on the verge of retirement. You want an advisor who's going to be there for the next 10 or 20 years of your retirement journey. Beware of advisors with less than 5 years of experience because they simply haven't seen enough market cycles to truly understand how to protect your retirement in difficult economic conditions. Let me wrap this up with something crucial. Choosing the right financial advisor isn't just about finding someone who can manage your money. It's about finding a true fiduciary who has the experience, the education, and independence to put your interests first. So if you'd like to learn more about how we help clients create reliable retirement income plans, I invite you to schedule a discovery call. Just click the link in the description below. And remember, you spent decades building your wealth. Make sure to choose an advisor who's qualified to protect it. Thanks for joining me. This is Steve from Retirement CFO. See you next time.